Hello, my name is Chris Robinson. I'll be your instructor this term for Math 107, Mathematics for the Health Professions. I'd like to give you an idea of how everything is set up in Blackboard, how to access our textbook, all sorts of things. So first of all, let me get things set up on my side. I need to share my screen, things like that, and I will take us into Blackboard and show you where everything's at. So let's get that going. So I assume that if you're at this point, you've been able to log into your MyUSI account, you've got into this course, and the way I've set it up, it should start in this location where it's a little bit of a welcome area. And you probably already got to the point where it says watch course overview video. So once you finish with this, there'll be some things we want to look at. Let me bring your attention to what I'd like you to start with. This read and watch essential items. If you select that title, it's going to give you a link or bring you into a menu for the course syllabus, the textbook, all sorts of things that you really do need to look over. I've created discussions of the most important things from our syllabus as well as from our calendar in here as well. So to be specific, this opened up, and you know what, if yours doesn't look exactly like mine, sometimes this table of contents is hidden, and if you just go over here on the left, it'll bring it back out. So the syllabus for the course is a PDF that's been linked into this little menu area, and you go ahead and take a look about all the stuff that I feel is important for the course. Or what you could do is select down here on this voice thread, don't select the name, but actually on this is pretty much an embedded video, selecting that region and hit play. And I go through, I think there's about 9 slides, the most important items from the syllabus, okay? Make sure you listen to that one. There are things in there you don't want to miss. I recognize that we are busy people, but this can make the way the class runs much smoother. I'll jump down to the course calendar while I'm thinking about it, because it's very similar there. We need to know when all of our dates are, whenever our exams, homeworks are due, and I've got that all planned out for the entire term, so no wondering there. Let me get rid of a few of these extra Blackboard windows. Now, the course module and objectives, that one isn't as crucial. That shows up in a lot of the places. So let's go to the course textbook. So this is you're going to need some feedback here, okay? Or at least some guidance. With this course, it is set up for you to get your books electronically through Blackboard. So you don't have to go to the bookstore. You shouldn't have to do anything like that. So I've got information here, and over on the left side, underneath start here, you're going to see something that says first day access. That's what it's referring to. If you select that, it's going to open up an area. Now, mine may not look exactly the same as yours because I have a few more classes that I'm associated with, like Math 081. You should just see one here for Math 107. And what it will have is reveal some sort of access code. If you select that, you're going to have a code. I think it's 26 letters that you can copy and paste. So let's hold on to that there for a second. We know that we can get an access code so that we can essentially redeem our textbook purchase. Now, unfortunately, let me hit back here. I've always found this to be awkward. You can't back out of this screen. What you have to do is hit X and then come back into the course. I don't know why they made it that way, but they sure did. After you do that, you want to select underneath first day access where it says MyLab. So what we need to do is to essentially get you set up with a MyLab account. See, MyLab and Blackboard are a little bit different. USI has Blackboard for all of its courses. It's where instructors post assignments, things like that. MyLab is specific to certain textbooks. So as I'm teaching, I'm pulling a textbook together to what we use at MyUSI. So you should be able to click either any of these you want. I'm going to click MyLab and Mastering Course Home. Uh-oh, didn't want to see that now, did we? Oh, I see what the issue is. I have set this course to start up on the, well, it should be Friday of this week. That's why it won't let me in at this moment. Let me do something a tad bit different that might be helpful to you. You shouldn't have to do this, but let me just bring up that Pearson has a website all their own, and you're going to be asked sometime along the way to register. Now, student is what you want to go through. You would need an email address. The course instructor ID you shouldn't need. That is going to be something I have set up so that it knows already. When you select MyLab and Mastering Course Home, it's going to know which course to go to. So it's going to essentially ask you to set up a username and a password, and then it's going to ask you for that code, that 26-digit code from First Day Access that you can then paste in there. Okay, so let me kind of go through the big idea. So that is going to finish it up right there. You need to go into First Day Access. It's going to see if you want to reveal an access code, and you do. Copy that code. Then we're going to have to come back into the course, select MyLab. And really, the more I think about it, any of these select, it's going to take you to MyLab. It's going to ask you, likely, to set up a username and password. And then certainly it's going to ask you to paste in that code from First Day Access. Essentially, that's your proof that you purchased the access to the text. If this process gives you any trouble, let me know. I'm happy to sit down with a Zoom meeting and we'll iron any troubles out that you're having. It's not meant to be difficult, but sometimes it just is. Let's go back to the Start Here tab. I will have the course begin in this place, I believe, till Wednesday of the first week of class, and then I will set it up where it starts slightly different, where our assignments are. If you have any trouble with the technology tools, so VoiceThread, you've got some other things with MyLab and Zoom, you're welcome to look at them, but I have a feeling that most of it you'll just learn by doing. So the third item, you can probably skip that and just try. In fact, go down to number 4 here and create an introduction to the class. So one thing I notice students sometimes make a mistake with is they select the title for it. Don't do that. It'll think that you're wanting to create your own independent VoiceThread that nobody else will see. What you need to do is click on the embedded video, so to speak, and then if you hit play, you can hear a little bit for you to record a comment. In the middle of the bottom, there's this plus. You select the mic and it will record whatever you're saying. You can listen back to it, upload it and save it, and then other people can hear your introduction. I've kind of given you some things there. I know sometimes with an introduction, it's hard to know where to start. I've got a few questions there to kind of break the ice. Once you get through looking at the syllabus, getting your textbook access and MyLab account set up, you have taken a look at the course calendar and have created your introduction, you're ready to start working the class. So this one down here at the bottom doesn't really tell you anymore. It's just saying what I told you. If you go over on the left, clicking underneath modules, that will take you into our different learning units through the class. Each time you're going to have similar structure. I'll tell you the objectives. I'll have a folder for our online assessments. So that's going to tell you the due dates for each of them. It's going to have the VoiceThread assignment. And it's not showing up at this moment, but I have set it up where links to the homework in MyLab, as well as a link to the e-text show up as well. It's just they're not active right now because the course isn't set to open until Friday of this week. Let me go back a little bit. Sometimes you'll see me navigate by going on the side menus. Sometimes you can also back up by going along the top. There's menus there. For each module, I have a practice exam to help you get ready. And there's some supplemental resources you may or may not find those useful. So again, module 2 is going to look very similar, module 3 and module 4, okay? Whenever we get our first exam, there'll actually be another area. It shows up in here. And whenever I finish each of our exams, I post the key to the exam so you can look over it and see what needed to be done differently if you missed something. I also have an item down here called graded items where there'll be a folder. Now, right now I'm in student view and I'm not in any of you, so I can't see a folder that shows me your name. But if I happen to look at it as a teacher, let me do this once again, almost there. Okay. You will see folders. I see all of them, but you'll see, I'm sorry, it's actually a link to a folder where I will scan and post graded exams. I will put your rubrics for any other thing that I grade. So if you're wondering how I'll get work back to you, graded work in this class, it will be using these graded items folder on the left side, as well as if it comes to checking your grades, you'll be able to see how the recorded score I have for each homework from my lab or each quiz. So Blackboard is really the place for us not only to see our learning materials, but also to access our grades. There are a few textbook errors in the key and that solution at the back. I put a collection of mistakes together so you can see what the answer should be if you're ever wondering, kind of scratching your head at that. Let me go back to the edit mode being on. You can also send email to me if you need, and the rest of the stuff I don't really notice people need a whole lot of help with. But there is the core of it. This gets you started on the class. If you have any troubles, let me know. Let me exit out of full screen mode here. Oh, it should let me out here a minute. Zoom is not being cooperative with me. Huh. Can't say I've had this issue before. There we go. So we are screen sharing. Let's stop sharing. I have dual monitors, and the menus I was looking for were on the second monitor, not the first. So pardon me there. But again, if you need some help from me, let me know. We've got 7 weeks. This class will go real fast. Don't hesitate if you got a question, if something comes up. And again, make sure you're listening to the outline of the syllabus, the calendar, things like that. I have very specific details on how we will expect exams to go. So make sure you listen to those and let me know if you have any questions.